everybody thinks my last name is Roasted. And with me is my good buddy, co-host, Chris Snow, the Snowman, Sexual Tyrannosaurus, Viagra Pill with a Face. Just coming off your first gig here in, 8 years? Congrats, man.
Been 8 years. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was a blast of a weekend. Played two shows, Friday night the 13th and then Saturday night the 14th, Valentine's Day. Injected a little bit of musical love into the air. It was a blast. It felt really good to get up there and do it again.
Nice. Did hopefully you didn't inject too much love into the air to have the cops called on you at the at the venue there. So happy for you. I'm glad you're back at it. You know, it's not a huge bar, but you make my singing look like crap. So, congrats on that. But I hope you guys had a great Valentine's Day and we're able to do some fun stuff, watch some scary movies. We did take a little bit of a break this week on Wednesday, our Wednesday episode, for a couple reasons. We both kind of had a few things going on, but also we wanted to put all of our effort and energy into the episode that will come out next Wednesday, and that is our Ghostface Gauntlet. It will be released 2 days prior to Scream 7. And the format for that one is going to be we're going to take every single Ghostface that has been behind the mask as a killer, because other people have worn it. So we got to have some rules here. We're going to start out with two randos, see who would come out on top for whatever reason. Go from there until we get through all the ghost faces, and then we will find the ultimate ghost face. And I'm going to do my very best to not have my prior prejudice and loves try and dictate this bracket.
Can I just say, we started this podcast in October of last year. Halloween was our inaugural
Hmm.
episode. Since then, and since you and I were kind of in the planning stages of this podcast, we have been talking about Scream 7. We've been building up to this thing. We have been propping this movie up. I am so excited to go see this thing, and I'm so excited to talk about it right afterward.
Yep, and that's leading into it. So, well, our normal Friday episode, obviously you can listen to it after the fact as well. But next week, we're gonna go see the movie. Might be together, might not be. Right after we're done with the movie, we're gonna hop on this podcast and give you our rapid fire thoughts on it. And well, who knows what we're gonna think about it then? We're coming out of the high or the low coming out of the theater, and so we'll give you guys more information on that, kind of what time we're shooting for on that, and hope you guys tune in and can comment and do all that. But we will have it recorded and released on Friday, or I guess early Saturday if we end up seeing the movie on Friday. But it's a new thing that we're trying for the bigger films, and Scream 7. I mean, I've been looking forward to this for so damn long, and it's had a lot of controversy with in the casting
Directors
department.
popping in and out. Who's going to
Yeah,
do it?
the one thing that I am really excited about is Kevin Williamson is directing. Who wrote?
Scream 2.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He.
Which, can I say, like, just jumping in, between Scream 2 and Scream 6, they're kind of vying for my favorite all-time Scream film out of all seven of them. Well, I guess I should say six of them so far, but I think Scream 2 is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't suffer from the sequel syndrome, any of that stuff. And the guy who obviously directed it is coming back for this one. So
Well, and I mean, obviously, Scream 1 is my favorite. I would probably put Scream 6 up there as number two. Maybe we'll even throw in a little ranking there. I got to think about it a little bit, though. But Scream 2, you're right. It switched up the format. It was, to my knowledge, I mean, it was my first memory of a meta sequel where they literally are poking fun at themselves, at the audience, at everything, and all the horror tropes. And the only thing that I hate about that movie is that Randy Meeks was killed. So,
you gotta love Randy. I actually saw
mhm.
Scream 2 first. I saw it before I saw the original Scream.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So were you completely lost? I mean, I guess you could watch it without it, and like
Yeah, I
maybe
mean,
you're
not
not as
totally.
into it, but
There's yeah, my cousin's wife had seen the first one, and she's talking about how terrifying it was and how scared she was after she watched it, and I remember her saying she's like, I had to watch In Living Color before I went to bed because it was so scary.
she had to
So
watch Vines.
yeah, right, Vine compilation, Mary Chrysler, um, Fresh Avocado. The
Free
she
Shabbat.
So I was familiar with, like, kind of the theme of it and kind of what was happening and all those pieces. So watching the second one, I was able to kind of piece together, like, oh, here's what happened before and now it's happening again. So
Nice, nice. Yeah, and then I know Scream 3 has uh, over the last 10 years or so, people have really it's kind of like the Star Wars prequels. Nobody liked them. Then now as we've gotten older, everybody likes them again.
They start to
And
understand,
it's
oh,
kind
it's
of like that
actually
with
good.
Scream 3. Yeah, and I mean, I go back and forth on Scream 3. I'm not crazy about one day. I think it's awesome the next. Obviously a singular ghost face in that one. So, but
And the
all
worst
right.
bangs I've ever seen on film, poor Gail Weathers. Courtney Cox had the worst bangs. What was she doing with her hair in that film?
It was the
They're
first
so
movie
bad.
where Dewey was the better looking one.
Yeah.
Special Officer Doofy
Special
reporting.
Officer Doofy reporting.
There, we got our scary movie reference out of the way.
I got it out of the way early.
Okay. Well, so we are talking about the new. We did switch up this formula a little bit too, because usually we talk about a movie usually about a week after it comes out. That's when this episode's released. This one has been 2 or 3 weeks out, but it's one that we both saw and we wanted to talk about it. It is Dracula, 2025, or I guess 2026 Dracula, which there have been bunch of different vampire Dracula adaptations. So we'll
Hmm.
dive in a little bit to that and where this stands up on that. But before we get to that, this is airing 2 days before the end of the Winter Olympics, which good news for you guys. The Roasted Snow Olympics are always going. So if you have not won, you will always have a chance to win. But with that, I got a bronze, silver, and gold medalist for you.
Let's
So
go, baby. Let's go.
with the bronze, also taking home some medals in the actual Winter Olympics, we got Canada.
Hey.
Yeah, what's up, Canada?
You guys
What's
have
up?
come around. We got to give you props.
hmm I'm looking at you, Alberta. I'm looking at you, Ontario. You guys are awesome. So thank you. We haven't talked shit about you in a long time. So let's keep that up. Hey, if you behave, we'll behave. All right. And then in second place, a mainstay is Australia. They have done fantastic, and Ireland barely missed this list. They also are a mainstay, so they were fourth. They just missed the medal podium, but they're doing awesome. Australia, thank you so much. The We Bury the Dead episode, I'm sure has something to do with that. But thank you guys, thank you. And then coming in first place, and I refreshed numbers. I was in Las Vegas on Saturday, and I was just walking the strip, and I just, it's muscle memory. I just check numbers, see where we're at, and we got a boom in a country that we have not gotten one from. It's one that I had to text Chris and go, "Hey, if you need a little boost for your show tonight, we just got a bunch from motherfucking Hong Kong." So
Hong
thank you guys.
Kong, what
Thank you.
up?
Thank you. I love when I see new countries pop up and new demographics and new just we all love the same thing here. That's what we're here for, and that's what I love about it. It can, movies are obviously typically in one language or more popular in one culture than another, but people like to get scared everywhere, man, and that's what can bring people together. And I love that you guys have found us and that we have found you, and hope you stick around. We, like Chris said, we've only been doing this since Halloween, so we're uh, we're learning a little bit each day. I'm loving going and seeing these movies and yelling at Chris about them. So this has been awesome. Anything you want to say to those three countries?
Just a big shout out to you guys. I mean, we were talking about it just the other week about starting this thing on Halloween. Obviously, no plans to stop in the immediate future. We're already planning how we want to do the year anniversary for the Halloween 2026 episode, and just how much fun we're having doing this. Having we're bringing our love of horror and sharing it with you guys who are willing to tune in and listen to us just jabber on about what we like and don't like and go head to head with these things. So it's really become one of the highlights of our week, and seeing all these movies, new movies, ranking all of our old favorites. I mean, it's just something that we both love doing so much. Recording nights are some of my favorite nights. It's really been a blast, and we owe it all to you guys for listening. So thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you.
Oh well, and I actually had one of my coworkers. They were like, "Hey, are you gonna do one on like Nosferatu?" And I'm like, "Well, we're doing Dracula coming up." I was like, you really need to check out. Somehow body horror came up, and I was like, oh, well, we just did an episode on that. You should check that out. And
Yeah.
we got talking about body horror movies, and I brought up Teeth, and they had never heard of Teeth, and I think they're gonna go home and watch it tonight. So,
Ooh, foo, foo, foo. You know what
yeah,
would make a perfect segue with the Teeth movie?
I
We need a
know what you're
John's
gonna say.
jingle. We need a John's
I
jingle for
I'm
Teeth.
writing it down right now.
It might be the best John's jingle of all time.
Oh my God, he might quit doing these for
He
us.
might-
He's unpaid, so it would make sense. But hope you guys checked out that one because
Ooh,
took me a while to get to sleep after that episode. So
we
um,
both had to go watch Vine compilations.
we did. Yep. Yep. Look at all those chickens. Yeah. So, with that, guys, we are about to talk about Dracula. This one, for me at least, it flew under the radar because, I mean, I literally was just scrolling through AMC and I was like, oh, Dracula, is that like a reboot, a remake? Is it a re-release? Whatever. No, it's a brand new one. And it takes the formula that a lot of people have in the past, namely one movie in particular. But it has Christoph Waltz. Dracula is played by Caleb
Caleb Landry Jones.
Landry Jones. Yeah, who, if I have him correct, wasn't he the douchebag brother in Get Out?
Indeed, he was. He was also the Banshee in X Men First Class.
That's right. That's right. I just remembered him in Get Out because I was like, he is the douchebaggiest of this douchebag family. So, it is. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I walked into this movie probably way different than Chris did. I walked into it basically, maybe just to, maybe we'll cover it, maybe we won't. Let's just see how we feel about it. And I'll just tell you without giving anything away that I was thoroughly entertained. It's, I believe it's like a 2 hour, 10-minute movie. Like, it's not a fast movie. And I just, I'm not big into vampire movies all that much. I'm not big into I'm not like crazy about Dracula just because it's been done so much. I honestly prefer the Hotel Transylvania side of it, Adam Sandler, all day, every day. But yeah, Chris, what were your feelings?
Yeah, I mean, right now, and specifically the zeitgeist of millennials, right? Maybe even Gen Zers. When you think vampire, you think of Twilight, right? You kind of think of the romantic fantasy, like I'm gonna fall in love with a vampire, and it's gonna go this like vampirism and the vampire mythos, you should say, as we know it today, all stems from Dracula. And what's important to note is vampires and again the vampire mythos coming from Dracula. They're not good guys; they're bad guys. So it's there's an interesting play, and we'll get a little bit more into that as we talk about the film. There's an interesting play on that, and an interesting, I don't want to call it a twist, but an interesting maybe dynamic on how that goes through. But man, do I love a good vampire movie. We did our top 5 R-rated horror films that are based, they were remakes, excuse me. And I talked about Dracula because I think Bram Stoker's Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola it was my number 5. It's fantastic. So anything that kind of delves back in and retells that story, if they do it well, is going to be a fantastic movie. And was a fantastic movie. I'm really excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I am too.
Big fan of Luc Besson, by the way. He directed The Fifth Element, one of my favorite sci-fi films. He directed Leon, the Professional, which, by the way, is Natalie Portman's first film. He did Dogman. I think he did Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. So he's got a cool pedigree. Fifth Element stands out head and shoulders almost above everything. I think it's a fantastic film. But we're not here to talk about Mila Jovovich. We're here to talk about Caleb Landry Jones.
We can always talk about it. Come on.
We can always talk about Mila Jovovich.
But yeah, and what stood out to me in this one was the performances because you can't just have somebody be
Mm-hmm.
being Dracula like Caleb Landry Jones. Holy crap! He did just his transformation, and that takes me to my next point. Is like the visual effects. And this movie isn't like it's a vampire movie. It's not that bloody. It's not.
No.
It's not that over the top. It's pretty tame. It definitely dives more into the romantic side of it, but they do it in a way that, as a horror fan, you care about. and you want to see where this is going to go. And for someone like me who is not that big on Dracula, I had no idea where it was really going to go. I had my ideas, but and then obviously the amazing Christoph Waltz. I
Always, always great.
he could
Come on.
he could narrate my life. I love that guy.
The
Obviously, what
dude
come?
could be in a film about how grass grows, and I would want to see it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you look at the two obviously that stick out in my mind. They're Quentin Tarantino, but you got Inglorious Bastards. He plays the
Hans
Hans Landa,
Landa.
and obviously one of the most evil characters to ever be on screen.
You're hardly getting
Especially
into
that
the state,
first.
are you not?
Show me where they are.
So good.
Au revoir, Shoshana. And then one of my favorite movies of all time, not horror, but Django Unchained.
Django.
I love that
God, that
movie.
movie's great.
It is. I remember seeing that on Christmas Day with my brother in theaters, and
Yep.
just it has everything. It's got the action, it's got the blood, it's got the historical context. It's hilarious. Like you got Sam Jackson in it too. Like it's so damn good. It it's one of my favorite movies of all time. And obviously he plays a good guy in that. He plays a good bounty hunter going after us like slave owners
Save
and
Art.
yeah, it's really well done.
If
Obviously,
you guys
he
haven't
has,
seen Django Unchained, I mean, get your life together and go
what the
watch
hell's wrong with you?
it. It
Yeah,
is so good.
the only downside of that is it's not like you can just if it's a Sunday night and you have an hour and a half, you can watch
Yeah,
it
no,
because
this is a two and a half
it
hour,
takes a
2 hour,
while.
45-minute movie. Quentin Tarantino is not short on the
But
time.
it's no, no. If he ever did a short film, I wonder what that would look like. But yeah, so you got I wouldn't say Christoph Waltz. I say is an all star, but you get Caleb Landry Jones. If you want to go into kind of what maybe a spoiler free, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we'll
So
dive into it a little bit.
I'll give you guys a quick overview of kind of the Dracula tale. If you're not familiar, I mean, I know everyone knows Dracula the vampire, but the story of Dracula is Dracula was a he is based on a real life, and you guys can get a much more in depth kind of breakdown in one of our previous episodes. But the Dracula character by Bram Stoker is based on a real life person. His name's Vlad, Prince Vladimir, Vlad the Impaler. Because what he would do is in his war with the Ottomans, he would impale them, not really crucify them, but impale them on wooden posts, and we're talking thousands of combatants. He would impale on wooden posts and we just stock up outside the road. So he's called Vlad the Impaler. So that's where kind of the Dracula mythos comes from. And the story is that Prince Vladimir of Wallachia, his during this war with the Ottomans in the mid 1400s, his wife Elisabetta dies, and he, in his grief, he renounces God to the Catholic Church. He renounces God. He says, "I'll, I will, I don't." In his fury and his grief, he essentially renounces God and he becomes an immortal, cursed. That's the key word here. An immortal, cursed vampire who requires the blood of people to survive. And he lives for another 400 years. And his belief is that somewhere out in the world, his love, his Elisabetta, is reincarnated, and he just needs to find her. So we come to one Jonathan Harker, who Dracula, who's again attempting to find Elisabetta. He's negotiating a real estate transaction, and in the original novel, it's in London that he's going to, and it's a little bit different in the movie, and we'll get to that. The movie actually takes place in Paris, so same character, Jonathan Harker. It's just Paris instead of London. Dracula comes to believe that Jonathan Harker's fiancee Mina Harker is Elisabetta reincarnated. So he imprisons Jonathan in the castle, and he makes his way to Paris to find Elisabetta, who he believes is Mina. And his goal, obviously, is to remind Mina who she really is and awaken Elisabetta in there, and then he can live with his love again. Now, his plot is, I guess, the best way to say is foiled against by our wonderful Abraham Van Helsing, played in the original by Anthony Hopkins, who is he's kind of an occultist expert, kind of he knows a little bit about vampires. Jonathan, of course, fighting against and Abraham Van Helsing's associates. So in the original novel, they are able to stop Dracula. They push him back to his castle in Transylvania or Romania, I guess you should say, and they're able to kill him there. And this movie, again, takes a little bit of a different spin in that Dracula does believe that Mina is his resurrected love. He goes to Paris to find her. And his goal over the last 400 years was not only just to survive and find Mina, but he actually invents this like perfume, this fragrance that attracts women to him and lures them to him, so that it's easy for him to find his love. And the really cool thing about this film, or something that I shouldn't say the really cool thing, it is cool, but it kind of stood out to me. It actually takes place during the centenary of the French Revolution, which is pretty cool. And a lot of things are happening in Paris during this time. It's the late 1800s, 1889, I believe. So there's a lot of stuff happening. Again, the acting performances are great. I don't want to tell you the end. We'll get into that as we break it down from the spoiler review. But suffice to say that the performances, particularly from one Christoph Waltz, as not necessarily Abraham Van Helsing, but just, we never learn his name. He's just called the priest. Is absolutely fantastic. And the climax of this film was, I mean, to die for. So without further ado, I think if you guys have not seen it, please feel free to jump out now and check it out, because again, we have really good things to say about this and we do highly recommend it. But without further ado, let's talk some spoilers, baby.
Let's go. Get the fuck out of here. So this movie starts out, and you're drawn in right away because it is basically a soft porno. This movie, like, they are slamming up against walls. They're doing anything and everything you could possibly do for two people that are absolutely tunnel vision in love with each other. So this is going, and obviously there's some of Vlad's generals or whatever are trying to get him literally like out of bed.
They're like, come on, you have a war to fight.
Fornication. Yeah, there's a major battle that's about to go down. And so they literally like have to drag him off of his wife, dress him, then they dress her. And this is where he goes off to war. But you really are drawn into the fact that, like, literally, if anything happens to him, she won't be able to live. If anything happens to her, he won't be able to live. And he goes to, yep. Yeah, it was almost like borderline like cringy, like obsessive, like
Get it together.
but is it obsessive if both of them are equally as obsessed? I didn't get the vibe one was more into the other than the other.
No,
So
I think they're equally obsessed with each other.
so before battle, he and a couple of his generals go and they pray to the priest there, and I believe Dracula says something like, you need to promise me that nothing will happen to Elizabeth, and basically the priest is like, well, God has a plan for everyone, blah blah blah. He's like, no, it better happen. Like, obviously you can tell the 1400s. Whereas, like, nowadays we see priests as more like, storytellers, and they tell you the word of God and all that. Back then, literally, they think that he is a literal, like, middleman for God. Like,
The priests
don't
were
kill
who
his
you
wife.
go to commune to God. Yeah, they're how you commune with God, essentially, back then.
Yeah, and he takes this very seriously. So they go into the battle, and this scene kind of reminded me of I don't know if you've ever seen Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp, but when they go into the Headless Horseman's backstory and how he's just fucking people up left and right in their battle where he's the Hessian, but as Chris said, he is the Impaler. They thwart the enemy. They are able to put a bunch of heads on spikes, like, and this is a really cool shot because they're standing above the hill looking down on the camp at the Ottomans, and he Vlad just comes up, has a head on a stake, then two more come up, have a head on a stake, and then the entire army has a head on a stake. It's at this time where I believe Elizabeth, she's where is she headed to? She's on a horse. She's headed away for safety.
I thought she was headed to like, yeah, she's headed to like a neighboring, just basically away from where the fighting is heaviest, you could say.
Right, and her crew are ambushed by these Ottoman warriors, and Vlad gets word of this, starts, running his horse through um, through everything, through the forest, through the woods. He catches up to Elizabeth, and unfortunately, she is killed by these uh, three soldiers, and Vlad fucks them all up pretty good.
Yeah.
But he has lost his love. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but this also takes a turn from the Keanu Reeves version, correct?
Correct.
Doesn't she kill herself in that one? Yeah.
Yes, because she believes that
So it's this
Vlad
immense
has
sense
been
of
killed.
yep, and Vlad says something to the priest earlier when he's talking to his like, if God, cherishes all life, then how many thousands of people are about to die on the battlefield? You get the sense like
Yeah.
he's only doing this because it's his job. It's not like, he has this pride to go kill these other people,
No.
which I thought was a nice
He's
touch
not.
to his character.
Yeah, he's not. His character in this film is not a bloodthirsty tyrant. At least at the beginning in this time, he's
Yeah,
not eager
he
to kill all these people.
so he loses Elizabeth. God knows how many men he's killed during this battle. And he makes a second stop at his good friend the priest, and basically calls him out on, you know, you. I told you not to let her die. And then, the priest kind of says, like, you have to just trust in the Lord's ways. This is for a reason. He ain't hearing that. He brutally kills the priest in front of his generals, which is about as blasphemous as you can get. I'm struggling to think of something that might be worse.
To murder the priest in cold blood like that is, I mean, that's
Hmm.
tantamount. It's, yeah, blasphemous. It's tantamount to betrayal.
And then I believe there's a Jesus statue where where he's crying blood, like blood is flowing through his, and this is where you kind of start to get the transformation that he's going to be cursed to live eternally without his love.
Because he
Um,
essentially, in his act of defiance and killing the priest, he in his anger and his rage, he has damned God, he has damned heaven, and that's why he's cursed with this curse, because he's gone as far as you can into turning your back on the God.
yeah, and he says as much. He's like, there is no God. I'm not doing this. And then you get a time jump to 400 years later. If you want to take it away from here and our, I guess, as most present day as we get in this movie.
Yeah, so you kind of find out that the time jump occurs, and you find out that over the centuries, over 400 years, Dracula has been attempting to track down the reincarnation of Elisabetta. He believes that she's out there somewhere. He believes that, yes, she was killed, but her soul has been reborn, and it's his only obsession is to find her so that they could be reunited. And kind of like I mentioned in the preamble here, not only has he developed this perfume that kind of attracts women to him and lures them in so that he can do his dastardly deeds with them, he's also created many vampiric agents to assist in his search. So he has these in his own castle. He has like these gargoyles, like these gargoyle servants that you find out a little bit more about later on in the movie, and we'll get to that. But all of this has happened, and so we kind of get to our original protagonist of the original novel, Mr. Jonathan Harker. He is a solicitor from Paris, and he has come to Wallachia to negotiate a real estate deal with Mr. the Count. I guess we should call him the Count of the Castle. Now, as they're discussing, Dracula is very curious about Jonathan. He wants to know, where you're from. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your life. All these things. And Jonathan mentions his beautiful fiance, Mina. Mina. Well, she will become Mina Harker. I won't call her Mina Harker at this point, but I believe her last name at this time is Mina Murray. But he tells her about Mina, and in their conversation, Dracula kind of starts to believe that this woman that you're talking about, that's my Elisabetta. because he describes her, describes how she looks, he describes all her, who she is and how beautiful she is and how much he loves her and all of her features. And Dracula is like, yeah, I have to get to her. And the only way he can do that is, of course, by imprisoning Jonathan, because Jonathan is her betrothed. So you can't necessarily have her fiance running around if you're going to come whisk her away from Paris. So he imprisons Jonathan in his own castle with the gargoyle henchman that I kind of told you about, or kind of standing guard, I guess you should say. And Dracula, reinvigorates himself. He's kind of old and decrepit at this point, but he reinvigorates himself with the blood of nuns. So again, jumping full bore into blasphemy. Number one, killing the priest, and now you're gonna drink the blood of a bunch of nuns to reinvigorate yourself. Nothing'll damn you quite like that. I should say. But he leaves.
Well, and the actual how he looks when he is talking to Jonathan, he looks. The effects, the makeup effects on him are fantastic, and
Yeah.
his accent is great. Like the acting is top notch. I don't know who else would be a better Dracula, but he is absolutely fantastic. And it's just I can't overstate it enough. Sorry to hop in there.
No, no, you said it. I mean, you get the idea when Dracula meets Jonathan. Again, one of the things that because Dracula talks about who he is, and obviously he doesn't mention he's been around for 400 years. He kind of alludes to I am very old, and because he looks it very much so. He kind of alludes to his past, but one thing that you come to kind of sort of understand in the context behind all this thing is he's been cursed. He's been living a cursed, and I know I'm kind of making him sound a little bit like an anti-hero. And again, I guess when we get to the end of this film, he
Kind
kind
of
of sort of
is.
is. Yeah. But he's been living a cursed existence for 400 years, wanting to find the love of his life, trying to find her, believing she's reincarnated out there somewhere in the world. And he's been doing everything he can to find her. And in the meantime, the only way he can survive is by drinking the blood of people. So a pretty cursed, horrible existence. And, he kind of alludes to these things when he's talking with Jonathan. And again, after he drinks the blood of the nuns, and kind of he's fully set in believing that Elisabetta is Mina, and she's alive, and if he can only get to her, he'll be able to convince her who she is. He'll be able to remind her who he is, and he'll be able to whisk her away, and they can spend eternity together because they will live eternally in this cursed existence, which we will circle back to again towards the end. But all this to say, he imprisons Jonathan. The gargoyle guards are keeping watch and keeping Jonathan in the castle, which is similar to the original novel. And Dracula himself sets off for Paris in time for the centenary of the French Revolution. That's the 100-year anniversary of the French Revolution.
Yeah, no, it was hot
I'll let you
earlier.
pick
It's
it up
not
from there.
100-degree.
It's very warm.
Yeah. So as Chris was saying, he does have a lot of vampire minions, like he said, the gargoyles, which neither here nor there, but that was my least favorite part of this movie. You guys
Yeah.
know me and CGI. I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. I wasn't scared of them. I was just more kind of
In the
annoyed at
original,
them.
there are three
But
three vampiric mistresses that kind of live in the castle and do his
okay,
deeds, and
see,
they're
that
the
would have been
ones that
better. What the fuck?
yeah, they feed on Jonathan and make him indisposed because he gets very sick with the vampiric germ. So
So in addition to that, they go through kind of what he's done in the past and how he bites people. Some of them turn, some of them do not. And it's here where we run into Christoph Waltz. There is this doctor that has captured what they believe to be just a sick woman. She attacked people at her wedding, went crazy. Turns out that she is a vampire. This is where you get Christoph Waltz, and he starts shining light on her, and it's like, there's a common misconception here that sunlight, hurts vampires. It's not that; it's the direct rays, so that they can walk around. But then obviously a ray comes and fucks her face up. And this vampire, she's kind of a seductress. She's flirting with him. She's trying to get whatever she wants. Um, Basically, he is able to prove to these doctors that yes, this is what I'm looking for. This is a vampire. We have never had one captured before. Um, Come to find out, this was somebody that uh, that Dracula turned and set out on this mission to find his beloved. And it turns out she actually did find her. She at her wedding, Jonathan and Mina were there, so they all know each other.
Mhm.
It's here where Christoph Waltz is starting to put together kind of what's happening and why it's happening, and he's able to find out that yes, Dracula is going after Mina because he thinks that it is his love, Elizabeth, and yeah, what happens here? Yeah, so Mina, she is you can imagine. She goes to this party with uh, and I forget the other vampire girl's name. It's totally spacing on me right now. I don't know. I just called her
That's okay.
vampiress
Sorry, Maria.
Maria. Okay, yeah. So Maria, she's able to break out of the crazy house, the hospital, whatever she's in.
The
She's
sanatorium.
able to be the sanatorium. She's able to break out of there, and she tracks down Mina, and because they're briefly really good friends in the short time that they've known each other. And she goes, "Hey, I have a friend coming into town. We should all hang out." And this is Dracula. And so he starts slowly starting to work in, like, have you felt like you've been here before and this and that? And she gets little flashes of like their life together, but you can imagine her. I mean, she's like, who the fuck are you? Like, I have I have a fiance. You're weird. And he does
And
come off
we
pretty
should
weird.
say he does decide at this time he destroys the perfume that we told you guys about because his idea is that
Hmm.
he naturally wants to awaken Elizabeth and Maria or Elizabeth and Mina and not refer to like any tricks to bring her out, which the perfume would do.
Yeah, he does have a code. he
If that's what you want to call
he's
it.
Yeah, I mean, he does truly just want her to be happy and to love her. He knows for sure this is her. Um, she has these little flashes. That's about it. Um, and basically, he kind of, I'm not gonna say gives up, but he's just like, I'm not gonna fit on her. Again, he has somewhat of a code, a compass. He wants her to love him back and is confident that she will get to that point. It's at this time she goes home and Jonathan has escaped. He has uh, it's a pretty cool chase scene, except it's with those stupid gargoyle CGI crap. He's able to uh, climb down his from his tower, and he's able to run away and get back home. He's not doing well. Doctors come to see him, and then he is um, Mina comes in and is like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And he's telling the whole story to Christoph Waltz and the doctors, and he's just like, "No, it's this guy. He's 400 years old. He doesn't. Uh, he can't go out in the light." And he's like, "Oh, you're talking about a vampire." And then so now Mina's like, "What the fuck is going on? This is ridiculous." Um, she is able to go upstairs and guess who's there? It's Mr. Dracula. Then Chris, if you want to take it away from here and how shit gets cray. Oh, you're on mute, dude.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm suffering from
Oh,
a
there you
cold
go.
right now, so I don't want you hearing when I cough. I was gonna say, if you want to keep going, I'll jump in as we approach the climax.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
have because I have so much
So
to say about it.
so she walks into her bedroom and there is Dracula. And this is where the final realization comes in, and she is able to
She
realize
officially
I was
awakens.
this Yep. She's like, I was this person and you were my love. And they start going at it right there, much like they were in the first scene. Um, but Christoph Waltz basically figures it out, goes upstairs. They have both fled. They have both left. So this chase happens. They go back to his castle. Jonathan's able to lead them there somehow. Apparently he left tracks or some shit when he was going.
Remember,
I
yeah, he
guess
remembered something.
yeah. Um, And it's at this point where they're able to get back home, and Dracula is basically paying off the carriage drivers, saying like, "Hey, I don't need you guys anymore." And this is the same carriage driver that drove Jonathan there, and gave him the crucifix. And he said, "I don't believe in God." And he goes, "You might want to start, or you better hope he believes in you."
You better, yeah. I hope he believes in you, in Christoph
Which,
Waltz's way.
yep, is such a badass line. So basically they're there, they want to start their lives together, or their afterlives together, whatever the fuck. Obviously Jonathan's not going to have any of that. Christoph Van Helsing ain't going to have any of that. They end up recruiting the husband of Maria, who she went crazy at their wedding, and they're able to kill Maria basically in front of him,
Dumont.
saying yeah, saying, "Hey, she's a vampire. Better get on this train and help us out." So the, this is the part that I thought was really messed up too, because they end up getting like the full army to come out there, and help with this, and so many fucking henchmen are taken out by either Dracula or his gargoyles. I'm like, you imagine you're one of these soldiers, you're just like, okay, I got this assignment, I'm gonna go to this castle to retrieve this woman. Yeah, and then you get all your friends are getting just like absolutely decimated by these goddamn CGI gargoyles. Like, what the fuck?
I'd be pissed. Be like, I better be getting a bonus shift for this.
Right? Yeah. I can't even tell you how many they kill. They kill so many
It's a
goddamn.
significant amount of people.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they lay siege to this castle.
Yeah. It's full on. We're gonna go over here. Meanwhile, they're shooting cannons at it. And at this point, Elizabeth says, "I want you to turn me. I want you to turn me."
She's
And
begging him, please turn me. I want to be eternally by your side.
yeah. And he you want to take it from here,
I
and
do,
if
I
he
do.
if he
So
has dinner or not.
there's
Yeah.
there's there's so much. I mean, the way that this film resolves. So the way that we've kind of been talking about Dracula, right? He kind of works as this anti-hero, right? You sort of start to sympathize with his character, particularly after he's trying to do. You said it earlier. He kind of has a code, and he's just trying to awaken Elisabetta and Mina. And when he finally does, I mean, a part of you kind of hates him because it's like, dude, that's Jonathan Harker's fiance, and you're just gonna bang her like that. Um, is the best way to put it. And then you're gonna make away with her back to your castle. It's like, come on. So you hate him for that, but as they're back in the castle, and again, as Elisabetta is just begging, please turn me, please turn me. There's this whole siege going on outside. Dracula eventually, he's like, I need to take part in this. I need to make a decision here. Um, Suffice to say, and I have a lot to say about this because he does come into conflict with our priest. It's not Abraham Van Helsing, but it's Abraham Van Helsing.
It's the
Uh,
Van Helsing
it's the
stand-in.
Van
Yeah,
Helsing
he's
stand-in. It's the priest. They never actually name him. It's just priest. But Christoph Waltz is essentially the version of Van Helsing that this movie is trying to present. Because Dracula does not turn Mina. He doesn't bite her. He doesn't give her the germ. He bites her, but he doesn't give her the germ. When he's confronted by the priest, this is kind of poignant. I don't know how to say that, poignant. Because the priest, rather than just simply attack him,
poignant.
poignant, rather than just attack him with everybody and try to kill him, the priest has a conversation in that he urges him. He's like, "Listen, think of what you're doing. Think of the last 400 years of your life. Think of all this evil that you have employed upon the earth. Think of what you did to Maria and all these people that you've hurt over this time. If you were to turn Maria and if you were to excuse me Mina, if you were to turn Mina, Elisabetta, your love, the person you love more than anything, if you were to do that, you're gonna damn her to the exact same existence that you're damned to right now. Is that really what you want?" So he really appeals to Dracula's emotions, and he appeals to Dracula's love for Elisabetta over, I just need to stop you because you're bad, and I just need to kill you, and I just need to do this. He appeals to that side of him, and this is where the movie kind of makes you, again, it really turns on that sympathetic piece that you have for him. The reason I say that is because Dracula does realize and agree with the priest, and that he's like, you're right. If I choose to, as much as I don't want to lose her, if I were to turn her and if I were to bring her to this damned existence, I would be damning this person that I love so much, and I cannot do that. So Dracula makes a choice then and there to allow our priest to kill him, to stake him, and he does. Our
Well,
priest
and
stakes him.
actually, Christoph Waltz, he's able to have, oh, sorry, he's able to have a conversation with him about how messed up the priest was that he talked to, and how Christoph Waltz like doesn't bullshit him. He's just like, look
Yeah,
at,
tells him straight up.
we don't understand why bad things happen, but and that I thought that was a cool scene in how basically obviously how the evolution of the priest has come, but yeah, he's just like, look at there are other ways for salvation, and it really, like you said, employing to his inner motivation and
The
how.
humanity that's left in him.
Right.
It's almost like it's almost it's for a Star Wars reference. It's almost like Luke appealing to the little bit of Anakin that's left inside Darth Vader. I
Hmm.
believe there's still good in there somewhere. The priest is telling him all those things. He's like, I can't tell you why bad things happen to good people. I can't tell you why things like this happen. This is how the world works. Unfortunately, it's horrible. But we have a choice to make, and the choice that you want to make would damn this person that you love the same way that you've been damned. So is that really what you want? That's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah, forget about the 200 fucking soldiers you just killed.
I was gonna say, forget it, and all of the people that you've killed for the last 400 years and drank their
Right, yeah.
blood.
This is your moment.
This is the one.
Oh man.
4 or 5 moments, Wade. 4 or 5 moments.
And a Deadpool reference. Awesome.
Had I had to get the Deadpool reference in there too.
Oh man. Am I
So all
losing
this
you?
to say, Dracula. Oh, am I back? Am I back?
Yeah, one sec. I'm gonna pop out and then pop back in.
Okay.
Yep. Hope so.
Good. Word. Well, that was a good place to have to pop out because
Yep.
we were just laughing at the Deadpool reference.
Okay. There we go.
All right. So yeah, Dracula, he allows the priest to stake him. He essentially, I guess the best way you can kind of put it is he sacrifices himself to save the reincarnated Elisabetta, who is Mina. Because as soon as he sacrifices himself and as soon as he's killed, he disintegrates there because Mina's there. She's like, "Oh my God, no!" And she catches him, and they profess their love for each other. As soon as he dies and he disintegrates in her arms, all of his evil that has kind of been out and about, all of the things that he's done, all the people that he's hurt, particularly the bites to Mina and the things that are happening to her. They all kind of reverse. His tormented spirit finally finds peace. So his death is kind of portrayed as like a release. He's been released from this cursed life that he's been living for 400 years. He makes the choice because he recognizes that Mina, being the reincarnation of his lost bride, he just doesn't want to corrupt her the same way, and the same way it's that it's done to him and the other people that he's created. And by doing so, by killing himself, or I shouldn't say it's like by killing himself, by allowing the priest to kill him, he releases all the other thralls that he's made, and all of his evil is sort of purged, I guess is the best way to put it. It's a little bit sad because Mina, who's, she's alive, she's human, she doesn't have the vampiric germ in her anymore. She just kind of walks away with the weight of her love, but without the darkness that once threatened her, which is a poignant way of putting it.
Well, and Jonathan comes up to see if she's okay, and she is, she's grieving. She is, and he kind of like, he doesn't say a word, but in his face you can just see it's like, well, this is over.
Yeah, I feel pretty bad for Jonathan. He
I
really
do
gets
too.
short into the stick.
Like he doesn't do anything that is malicious or anything. Obviously he wants to kill Dracula, but I mean he's trying to get his fiance
Fiance
back.
back.
Like who wouldn't do that? So yeah, I feel bad for him too. At least he survived this, I guess. And it is funny because yes, all the people that he bit, are healed essentially. Can't say anything about the fucking soldiers because they're
True.
getting
They're
heads
dead. They're
chopped off
still
and
dead.
shit. Yeah, yeah.
You can't bring
Sorry.
them back.
Yep. Thanks for coming, bro. But yeah, that is 2026 Dracula, and the depth of it, because watching it I never thought like, wow, Dracula's a fucking dick. Even in the scene where he is first turning people in that big party and he's just going left, right, left, right, left, right. I still was like, hey, I can understand his motivation. This is the only thing he wanted to live for. He didn't even want to go to battle that day. And you can really, I mean, there's so many movies that don't do the romantic angle correctly. When this much of this movie relies on it, you got to do it perfectly, and I thought it was as close to perfect as it could be. Especially I came in pretty low expectations on it, so
Yeah,
I
it's
was
just another remake. It's like we've seen the Dracula story 100 times. What's this one going to do? But the different spin they put on it, and portraying him as more of an anti-hero and portraying him as someone that you can actually empathize with, despite all the bad things that he's done. That's the sign of a good storyteller.
right. And the performances are great, the set pieces are great. It does just get lost in the shuffle because like, how many Frankensteins have we seen? How many Draculas? How many mummies? Even there's another mummy coming out this year. Like, it's not even. And then we're getting Brendan Fraser back here. In a
God, I'm
couple
excited
years,
for
so
that, and boy,
I'm
we're
so
going to talk
excited.
about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It may be comedy. Fuck it. We are talking about it.
We're loving it. Yeah,
It's the mummy.
It's
We
Brendan
love it.
Fraser and Rachel Weisz. So give it us number 4. Every millennial right now is having a collective.
Like, oh my God, please, please, please. Just get to the finish line. That's all we need. So I will tell you, as much as I love this movie, and I hope people go and see it, whether you are into Dracula or vampires or not, call me uncultured, call me, but fucking a primate ripping people's faces off. That's still the winner for me.
I also will not allow this to overtake my rating champion solely because as much of a horror film as this is, it's not. When I think of ones that are going to stick with me and ones that I'm going to be talking about for a long time, I'll be talking about this, but it's another Dracula story that, we know the Dracula tale, even though this is a fun spin on it. There's not enough here that's going to keep me talking about it the way that I am with my reigning champion, which is
The Bone Temple. You just like bones.
you know
You just
I
like
do.
bones.
You know I do.
Yeah. You just keep thinking about Samson.
That
I got
BDA baby.
BDA, baby.
He's
Yep,
everywhere. It's everywhere.
yeah, you can't miss it. But
I'll never
with
look at my
that-
forearm the same way again.
Jesus Christ. Well, with that, guys, we're getting to the point in the show at the end of it where we give a suggestion for the week. In addition to the suggestions that we will talk about, if you guys have not seen the Scream movies, fucking get caught up
Let's
now.
go. You have a weekly
Now.
assignment here.
Yep, you got there's 6 movies. Watch one each night. Maybe pop in two on a night. But with that, what movie you got outside of Scream to talk about?
So I'm really excited. Actually, I'm rewatching this movie series right now. I rewatched one on Sunday night. I rewatched one last night. I'm actually, before I go to work in the morning, I'll walk on my treadmill for 30 minutes just to get started for the day, and I'll put one of these movies on. I am rewatching the Resident Evil films, and they're by no means great movies, but my recommendation tonight is actually the very first Resident Evil from 2001 with, ironically, Mila Jovovich and Michelle Rodriguez.
You said we couldn't talk about her.
We said we could. I'm bringing her back, baby. uh, I'm kind of rewatching because Resident Evil Requiem, which is Resident Evil 9, is coming out also on February 27th. So it's a double day of excitement for me. But the movie takes place, it's not a retelling of the game. It's actually its own universe, but it's a classic zombie movie. This one's a little more action heavy, so it's an action horror film. But they do lean into the R rating. There's a lot of zombie carnage. There's bioweapon carnage and people getting eaten and ripped apart and all those pieces. And if you're a fan of the games, the first movie, I'm not going to talk much about the rest of the movies because, like I said, they're not good films. But the first movie is actually pretty entertaining. It's a nice action B movie romp with plenty of cool horror vibes, particularly if you like big lasers that cut people into little pieces. And I'll leave it at that.
Or non-existent voices of little girls that are very off-putting. I don't know if you ever watched Scariest Places on Earth, but they had a little girl that would do a voiceover. She's like, "Tonight on Scariest Places on
Why do they
Earth."
do that? Why do they
Yeah.
do that?
This one, it's just like, "You're all going to die."
You're all going to die down here.
Okay. Resident Evil, like it, like it. I'll at least agree with you on the first one there. They did one in Vegas that I was like, that's a really cool concept, and then that's all I remember about it.
Resident
So,
Evil Extinction. Yeah,
yep.
they're not, like I said. I don't know what else to say. Is that they're not good films. They're just semi entertaining.
Umbrella Corporation, Raccoon City, all that good stuff. I'm going to go with another vampire film. This one put an interesting twist on it.
If
More
you say
kind of like
Twilight, you're done with this podcast.
I was gonna actually say Twilight 2, but whatever. Breaking Dawn Part 2. Let's go with that one. Yeah. No, I'll save that when we talk werewolves at some point. But no, this one, it actually has someone that we've talked about a lot on the show, Ethan Hawke, and I'm talking Daybreakers. Um,
Yeah,
this one, it takes an interesting twist on the zombie genre because zombies in this film have become the
vampires.
majority species. Yeah, they, uh, and it's what I remember from this movie the most is just how cool it is to see a vampire in day to day life. Like he's driving his car, it is daytime out, but he's got these shades on it, and it's basically like a video screen of what's outside, and he can drive his car. And I believe I can't remember if there's a blood shortage in it, but
Yeah, the
yeah,
cattle. There's a shortage of cattle.
yep.
The humans,
Um, and it's
and of
got
course,
William Def.
Willem Dafoe. We're the guys
Yep.
with the crossbows.
Yeah. So it's just a damn good movie if you're in a zombie mood. It's not the
Vampire mood.
traditional.
Vampire
Sorry,
mood.
whatever. God damn it. We're talking werewolves, vampires,
You
zombies.
get Sam Neill as a vampire leader. It's great.
Yeah, yeah. It will definitely make you think more on where this genre can go. And that's what I liked about it was the interesting take on it. Obviously, love Ethan Hawke. I guess he's done more horror adjacent than I thought. I just don't until Sinister. I never thought of Ethan Hawke
Same,
as a
same.
horror
He did
guy.
Gattaca back in the day, which is like sci-fi horror adjacent.
Yeah, but wow, Resident Evil and Daybreakers. Okay,
Good choices.
so with that, we get into Scream Week. Oh, baby.
Man, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, man. What's your least favorite Scream movie? Let me ask you that.
Scream 4. Well, Scream 5. No, Scream 4.
Okay. See, and
Not a fan.
that's a lot of people's least favorite.
It
I'm gonna go
it
Scream
felt
3.
forced.
See, I disagree a little bit there because I go Scream 3 as the worst one, which is not saying it's a bad movie.
Sure.
I just thought it was a little too campy. Like they do, like there's the Jay and Silent Bob cameo, and I like the idea of doing it on the movie set and actually like. But like, there's the weird like Sydney's mom as a ghost thing. There's just a few things that are
Right.
weird in it. I thought the killer dialogue was fine. I do miss having more than one killer. I like how they keep bringing up Roman Bridger in the subsequent movies, but Scream 4, I love the false beginnings where they keep shooting out because it is meta on the reboot or the requel type thing.
It's the meta
Um,
meta.
uh-huh. And then that was actually what no yes, that was Wes Craven's last Scream. And
Yeah,
they
because
they
Scream
paid tribute to
5,
it.
they changed to a whole new team.
Yeah, but they pay tribute to him in Scream 5. They
Mhm.
name one of the characters Wes. He does get a pretty brutal kill, but we'll probably go into a bunch of different tangents on our Wednesday episode next week with the Ghostface Gauntlet and where we're going on that. There is one that I don't know if it's going to put on the list because at the beginning of Scream 6 there is a Ghostface that does
Does
kill
he? That's true. That's true.
Samara Weaving. Um,
Hmm.
it falls under the rules. He's a ghost face that did kill somebody. So I
He
think we kind of
counts.
have to put him on there. I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to
I don't know
last
that he's
very
going to
long.
make very hard. Yeah, he's not going to go very far.
He could be a first round buy for somebody. Well,
There
you
you
know,
go.
it's going to
He's
be.
seen it.
But yeah, I can't wait to have that conversation and just
It's going to be a
because
blast of an episode.
you guys know Scream is one of my favorite film franchises of all time. It was my first foray into horror, and it sticks with you. So, and it's kind of like there was a meme where it was like, anytime a Star Wars movie comes out, it's like you have the people that love it no matter what, the people that hate it no matter what, and then you just have the guy that's just happy to be watching another Star Wars movie. That's
Boom.
what I'm going to try my very best to do. Is I was like, hey, I'm just glad I can watch another Scream movie. It's what I do with Saw as well. I'm like, once I hear Hello
Happy to
Zep,
see others.
everything goes away.
Hello, sir.
Hello Zep, I want to play a game.
I want to play a game.
But yeah, guys, send us in if you have any ideas for future episodes. We are constantly going. I'm sure we're due for another fucked up episode, like the Teeth and the
Ugh, ugh,
most
ugh,
extreme horror movies ever made.
ugh,
Um,
ugh.
but we have a lot of ideas thrown around. We could do some more worst five of any sort of genre, subgenre. I thought of an idea that might be fun is what were movies that weren't horror movies that scared the shit out of you?
There you go.
Yeah, so that was one I thought of. Um, just a little, just a little appetizer on that. Would be like Ernest Scared Stupid. The trolls in that movie scared the ever loving shit out of me.
We get. I mean, I've been going back. We did a lot of. We did the body horror episode. I mean, it'd be fun to do our top favorite, our top, and it'd be hard to classify these. That's why I think it'd be a fun episode. Our favorite B movie horror movies,
Yeah,
ones that
there's a
they have a budget of $100,000 and they're trying to make a scary film.
holy fuck,
That'd be
that'd be
a
a
very
lot of
in-depth
the
conversation.
well, and guys, a lot of these lists are very hard to narrow down. Like I should show my
That's why we do
notebook
so
at
many
some point.
honorable mentions.
Yeah, we're like, I have to talk about this one, even though for whatever reason, A, B, or C, it didn't make this list. But we love doing that. I hope you guys love listening to it. Thank you to all of the new listeners that we're getting all across the world. We love you guys. Horror movies bring people together, so let's keep doing it. Go out, support your theater, watch these scary movies, and yeah, let's. Actually, I got it before we go into Scream Week. And I'll probably ask you next week too, but what's your one prediction? Who's Ghostface in Scream 7?
I'm gonna say this. I don't know who Ghostface is going to be because I don't think we've met that person yet. I think they're gonna be new to the movie. But is a main character going to die? I
Yes.
say yes. And I mean by main character, I mean Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox. Are they going to kill one of them?
That's really the only two that are left.
Those are the only two that are left. I
And
think
I
Sydney
would,
has reached the end of her run. Is my personal thought.
yeah, I can see that too. I'm just gonna go with the what I've seen on the trailers, what I kind of feel like might happen, and then so I think McKenna Grace will be one of the killers. But my all-time conspiracy theory, and it could come true in this movie, I don't know, but at some point, I think Gail Weathers will be a Ghostface, and maybe that
You're
is how she
crazy.
dies.
You're crazy. You're insane.
How cool would that be if she unmasks and it's her and Sydney going at it,
Going.
and they have
They're
this
the final
history?
ones.
Yeah, like maybe, well, I mean, yeah, bam, bitch goes down, bam, super bitch. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking it out with us. Sorry we didn't have a Wednesday episode this week, but them the breaks sometimes. But I feel like it's gonna be a hell of a week next week. I'm so excited. I wish it was next week
Agreed.
already.
Oh
But
man, it's
take it
coming.
easy, guys. We love you, and yeah, keep watching
We'll see you
Scary
at
Movie.
Scream Week.
See ya.